Today, we're coming to you from the grand halls of the University of Birmingham, an institution steeped in discovery and research since 1900. The University of Birmingham was the UK's first civic university, a place designed for everyone, not just the privileged few. Every one of our graduands today is part of that proud tradition of learning and achievement. Degree congregations at the University of Birmingham date back to 1901 and are held here in the Great Hall, right at the heart of our Edgbaston campus. Attended by nearly 30,000 graduates and guests each year, these events are the highlight of the university calendar and represent for many students the conclusion of their studies at Birmingham. Originally built as a cathedral to learning, the Great Hall never fails to impress our visitors. The building is Grade 2 listed, and it's really the details that make the space so special. It features a trompe-l'oeil domed ceiling located above its formal marble entrance. The entrance is bordered by archways that are designed to draw the eye towards the centre of the room. The music you can hear is being performed by our very own student musicians. They often perform versions of modern pop hits or songs with a Birmingham connection. As our graduands wait for the ceremony to start, this is a time for them to reflect on how far they've come. They may think back to the first lecture they attended in a packed lecture hall, making friendships that will last a lifetime. Maybe they're thinking back to their first eureka moment, when their chosen field of study finally clicked into place. Or perhaps they're thinking about late-night debates in the Guild, that group project that pushed them to their limits, or the spark of inspiration when they saw their research was really making an impact. Today, they close one chapter and open another. A degree from the University of Birmingham is more than just a name on a certificate. Our graduates are recognised by employers for their resilience, creativity, and dedication. Soon, they'll find many exciting opportunities waiting for them. Quick shout out to the staff, students and volunteers who have made this special day possible. We couldn't have done it without you. Also, a reminder to share your photos from today on social media. Make sure to tag our accounts so we can engage with your moment. The audience is a mixture of graduands who sit in the back of the hall and their loved ones who are seated near the stage. During the ceremony, the graduands will make their way up to the stage, accept their scroll, and be applauded by their families and fellow students. In the sea of formal robes in the ceremony, attendees may spot black gowns, red and green gowns, and possibly some other eye-catching colours. The black robes are worn by those graduating with their bachelor's and master's. Green and red robes are for those picking up a doctorate degree. To the families, friends and supporters watching from home today, Your encouragement, pep talks, and well-timed cups of tea have helped our graduates reach this day. Let's take a moment to appreciate the parents who still don't quite understand what their child studied, but are immensely proud regardless. Well done, everyone. You've earned this celebration. Soon, our ceremony will begin. There's a degree of pomp and circumstance to the day that echoes back through the years. These rituals connect our graduands today to students from the very first British universities formed in the 13th century. This procession isn't just tradition for tradition's sake. It's the university's way of honouring the past, affirming the authority of scholarship, and marking the threshold our graduands are about to cross. It's time for the procession to start. Senior academics of the university are led into the Great Hall by 2 mace bearers and will sit on stage throughout the ceremony. There is a mace bearer at the front of the line and one at the back. The latter is called the Esquire Bedell. Both carry large silver maces that they put down on stage. This is a ceremonial kick-off to the day. The mace bearers are usually staff members from the university who have volunteered to take part. Row by row, the procession makes its way up to the stage, passing proud faces in the congregation, students in mortarboards, parents wiping away tears, tutors exchanging proud glances. A senior member of the university, such as the Chancellor or a Provost, will be the last to take their place. They'll stand before the attendees and declare the congregation open.
Good afternoon. I declare the congregation open.
Welcome to our fabulous Great Hall here at the University of Birmingham. My name is Helen Abbott, and I am the Pro-Vice Chancellor and Head of the College of Arts and Law, and I also happen to be a Professor of Modern Languages. It's a huge pleasure to welcome you to Birmingham today for this fabulous graduation ceremony. To our graduates at the back of the room, and to you, friends, family, supporters here at the front, thank you for being here so that we can share in this super special occasion together. Now, today is absolutely a day of celebration, not only of academic success, but also of commitment and perseverance and personal growth. And graduates at the back of the room, as members of the College of Arts and Law, you've spent your time immersed in your discipline, and in your cases often in multiple disciplines, exploring ideas, interrogating perspectives, and learning how to question, to interpret, and articulate your understanding of our very busy and messy world with clarity and conviction. Your journey to graduating today may not have been super easy. Achievement at this level very rarely is. It's earned through effort and resilience and a huge willingness to learn from when things don't go to plan. You'll have encountered demanding assessments, those complex ideas you've grappled with, and moments when the next step just wasn't super clear. But you found a way through, thinking carefully, working super purposefully, and supporting one another. So you built not only knowledge, but character and confidence too. In today's ceremony, the university will award an EGRITAT degree. This is a degree that the University of Birmingham awards only in truly exceptional circumstances. And today, This will be awarded in honour of Zachary Skarka. Zachary was an enthusiast about his study of the textual history of the letter to the Colossians. He brought to his research an interest in maths and statistics, as well as expertise in New Testament Greek. He was not afraid to be original, as we know from a wonderful photograph we have of Zach presenting at an online conference, whilst he appears immaculately dressed in a jacket and tie to those participating in the online conference. Below the waist, it turns out, Zach was wearing some very fetching, emoji-adorned pyjama trousers. In his final months, Zach spoke frequently about how his Christian faith had prepared him for the possibility of his death. And he leaves a huge legacy of encouragement, as well as his almost completed doctoral thesis. So today, on a day of celebration, we are awarding Zachary with an Equitat degree, and we will be celebrating the achievements of such a remarkable individual. And I hope we can, together, take inspiration from the bright, inquiring, multi-perspective mind that Zach so clearly possessed. And it's important that we honour and emulate that for years to come. Now, many of you will be leaving formal education behind and readying yourselves to dive into what some people call the supposed real world. But I'm going to urge you not to lose the spark of curiosity you've nurtured here during your studies. Keep listening to that voice that says, is there more to this than meets the eye? Keep asking the why and the how and the what if. Because universities are esteemed places of learning, and they're also special places where people with differing beliefs, different languages, customs, various interests and personalities meet, we exchange perspectives, and we often forge hugely meaningful connections. I want you to treasure those relationships. Because I know there are people I met at university many decades ago who are not only now some of my closest friends, but they're also my phone a friend for when I have a question about something that they are more expertly qualified to answer. I think of one friend, for example, who's now a communications director for a major national infrastructure company. Who knew? I also have another friend who is a canon residentiary at one of the cathedrals in England, or another incredible human who is now a trauma surgeon on an international fellowship in Canada, having done a second degree after her philosophy degree. Those are the kinds of connections you will forge too, whether it's through LinkedIn, other social platforms, or joining us at one of our many alumni gatherings. You will be able to stay connected with your own phone-a-friend networks. They really do matter. And I hope you'll stay in touch with us, your academic tutors, lecturers, professors, and student support teams too, many of whom have joined me on stage here today. Because we end up using each other's knowledge in all sorts of meaningful ways. A quick message here, an email exchange there. Sometimes it happens years after you've graduated. And it really matters because that's how we do things at the University of Birmingham. You are very much one of us. So perhaps, graduands at the back of the hall, I could invite you to thank everyone who's encouraged your intellectual curiosity, nurtured your creativity, and inspired you to keep going during your time here. So graduands, will you join me in thanking my colleagues behind me? Now, we are not finished with clapping yet. There's a lot more of it to come during today's ceremony. And really importantly, right in front of me here, and tuning in from all corners of the globe are your friends, your family, your supporters, who are so very proud of everything you have achieved. You will all have that person who's had faith in you, those people who supported you, showed you kindness, and without whom you wouldn't be here today. So graduands, can I ask you to join me and my colleagues in thanking your friends and supporters here at the front. So I promise it's about to happen. Very soon, you're going to be coming up onto this stage, and the Chancellor, Sandy Okoro, will admit you to your degree. This is going to be your moment. When your name is read out, that will be your graduation moment, and Professor David Cheetham, the head of school, will be reading the names out for you. So family and friends here at the front, when you hear that name, that's your moment to whoop, cheer, whatever works for you, get the cameras out, clap really, really loudly, and celebrate the achievement of all of our graduates here today. So, as you come to the stage, take care on the steps. They're really not as scary as they look. Head back down the middle. You can go any which way you like, but usually back down the middle works best. And give a huge smile for the cameras. And don't forget to savour your moment. Thank you.
Now for the handing of the scrolls. The graduands walk across the stage to collect their scroll from the presiding officer.
Hello, I'm Professor David Cheetham. I'm the head of the School of Philosophy, Theology and Religion with Liberal Arts and Natural Sciences. Chancellor, to you and to the university, I present the names of these graduands as listed in my programme, proved worthy to be admitted to their respective degrees.
By virtue of my authority as Chancellor, I admit those persons listed in the programme, both in attendance and in their absence, to the degree for which they are to be presented.
College of Arts and Law, School of Philosophy, Theology and Religion, Doctor of Philosophy. For research into the use and future scope of digital approaches to the humanities, Kelvin George Beer-Jones. For research into the significance of the Nihangs in Sikh history, Parminder Davgan. For research into the nature of our minds and the self-knowledge we have of it, Richard Paul Farry. For research into parallels between Protestantism and modern Islamic reformist movements, Rauda Fauzi Abdulfadil Gawahir. For research into the sociological trajectory of the 19th century Quaker schism at Finchley, Derbyshire, Terence Melvin Harris. For research into the metaphysics and realism of Michael Polanyi, Christina Maria Mayer. For research into Indonesian women's experiences of Quran memorization as piety and identity, Warderton Nadaro. For research on the temple scroll from Qumran Cave 11, Abigail Sarah Naidu. For research into delusion, psychiatry, and epistemic injustice, Eleanor Grace Palafox Harris. For research into cases of interpersonal trauma, Aisha Kadus. For research into the text and transmission of Colossians, Zachary Skarka. For research into the Quranic exegetical tradition in India, Abdul Dayan Muhammad Yunus. Doctor of Practical Theology. For research into experiences of a contemplative practice of silence for ordinary Christians, Alice McGregor. Master of Philosophy. For research into reconfigured religious values in the nexus between religion and politics, William Andrew Burton. International Law, Ethics and Politics, Natasha Halligan. Master of Arts, Philosophy of Religion and Ethics, Claire Elizabeth Devine. Master of Public Administration, Faith-Based Leadership, Mohammed Tariq Sadiq. Marion Catherine Waraguru. Master of Science, Global Ethics and Justice, Stephen Barnum. Tatiana Luzano Ortega. Master in Science, Liberal Arts and Sciences, Henry Harper. Natural Sciences, Chemistry, Phoebe Smith. Master of Arts, Liberal Arts and Sciences, English Literature, Oliver Scoggins. Bachelor of Arts, English and Philosophy, Humna Farouk. English and Philosophy with Year Abroad, Pippa Heath. English Language and Philosophy, Alexander Byrne. Amelia Johnson. Kiona Smith. English Literature and Philosophy, Olivia James. Ruby Kennedy. Tarika Nair. Noah Mayan Sachs. Isabel Scattergood. Will Wright. Yasmin Saeed. History and Theology with Year Abroad, Clementine Matilda Rose Richards. Liberal Arts and Sciences, Isabel Arthur. Matilda Barker. Madeline Susan Barrett. Fiona Chung. Caitlin Costello. Charlotte Davidson. Caitlin Debbage. Lucy Dunkley. Catherine Gardam. Aurelia Harris Johnston. Jessica Howell. Rebecca May Hyde. Lydia Julian Otti. Lulu Landers. Lily Mesri. Edith Olson. Hannah Rayner. Bethany Rizador. Philippa Mercado Leandro dos Santos. Mila Spichak Grove. Emily Satter. Alicia Thompson. Minette Mary Venning. Ellie Wade. Annabelle Watson. Liberal Arts and Sciences, English Language and Linguistics, Elijah Butt. Liberal Arts and Sciences, French, Freya Elizabeth Cool. Liberal Arts and Sciences, Gender Studies, Maya Matthewman. Lucy Mould. Liberal Arts and Sciences, Geography, Ellen Morphew. Jessica Wood. Liberal Arts and Sciences, History, Lily Smart. Bethan Thomas. Liberal Arts and Sciences, International Relations, Eloise Beaumont. Hannah Ford. Luke Shelton Jones. Liberal Arts and Sciences, Politics, Savannah Grantham. Mariam Mansour. Liberal Arts and Sciences with Year in Industry, Oliver Heath. Mathematics and Philosophy, Clara Berry. Anya Bethel. Daniela Coombs-Morfin. Hannah Davis. Rachel Mary Dominic. Freddie Jack Gidney. Amelia Kershaw. Catherine Way. Rennie Michelle Harvey. Medical Humanities, Neve Ormsby Draper. Naomi Waters. Caitlin Whiteman. Samir Wali Abdullah. Philosophy, Matilda Anaro. William Appleford. Iman Arshad. Alice Banks. Alice Bates. Bianca Booth.
Chancellor, graduates, graduands and guests, it's my great pleasure to present to you Deborah Cadman, OBE, as an Honorary Doctor of the University of Birmingham. Deborah's story is in many ways a Birmingham story. She was born and raised in this city, and she first came to the University of Birmingham as a student, later completing a master's degree in urban and regional studies. She has remained connected to the university ever since as an alumna, guest lecturer, advisor, member of the College of Social Sciences Advisory Board, and most recently, a highly valued member of our council, helping to guide and challenge the institution over the last 8 years. For more than 4 decades, Deborah has dedicated her career to public service and improving the lives and communities across the United Kingdom. From leadership roles in local and central government to chief executive positions in Suffolk, in the east of England, the West Midlands and Birmingham. She has consistently focused on one fundamental question: how do we create places where people can flourish? As the first chief executive of the West Midlands Combined Authority, she helped secure billions of pounds of investment for regional growth, developed the first UK regional industrial strategy, and played a central role in promoting opportunity across our region. She later returned home to lead Birmingham City Council during one of the most challenging periods of its history, bringing stability, experience, and determination to the country's largest local authority. What has distinguished Deborah throughout her career is not only her leadership, but the values that underpin it. Colleagues describe her as courageous, collaborative, deeply loyal, and motivated by a profound sense of fairness. She has championed diversity and leadership, advocated for those whose voices are too often unheard, and never lost sight of the human impact behind policy decisions. Despite an impressive list of achievements and honours, including an OBE for services to local government, Deborah remains proudly and unmistakably a Brummie, someone who understands the city, believes in its people, and has devoted much of her career to helping it succeed. She's a lifelong Blues supporter and someone who has followed them through the ups and downs, all the way to Wembley to beat Arsenal, which I'm quite pleased about as a Liverpool supporter. And she's no doubt delighted with the University of Birmingham's strategic alliance with Birmingham City. Maybe a few free tickets. Today's graduates are leaving this university at a time when society faces complex challenges. Deborah's career offers a powerful example of how curiosity, public purpose, and courage to take on difficult problems can create lasting change. Her career demonstrates that leadership is not simply about holding office. It's about making a difference to the places and people you serve. Chancellor, in recognition of her outstanding contribution to public service, regional regeneration, local government leadership, and her enduring commitment to this university in the West Midlands, I present to you Deborah Cadman, OBE, deemed worthy of admission to the degree of Doctor of the University, honoris causa.
By virtue of my authority as Chancellor, I admit you to your degree. Congratulations.
Chancellor. And Jeremy, thank you. Members of the university, families and friends, and most importantly, today's graduates, thank you for the privilege of standing here with you today. Today feels for me like a homecoming, and I grew up in this city, but my university life helped shape who I became. The University of Birmingham taught me to challenge assumptions, to ask better questions, and to trust the power of curiosity and critical thinking. It gave me the confidence to believe that someone like me could contribute to public life and, in some small way, do good in the world. But this university has been a real family affair. My husband Jeff earned his master's degree in race and education here in 1985. And I first sat here with you, like you are now, when I received my own master's degree in urban and regional economics, with my daughter India just 4 months old. The university supported me and encouraged me to finish my dissertation 3 days before she was born. She's now gone on to graduate herself. And I also sat here as a very proud parent when my son Jordan graduated in 2016. They're both here today, and their father and I could not be prouder of the remarkable human beings they have become. But this is about you, graduates. And many of you are here because people believed in you. Family, friends, teachers, mentors, colleagues, and sometimes people who had no obligation to help, but chose to anyway. And before this day is over, do take a moment, just a moment, to thank them. I'm certainly here because people saw possibility in me when I saw only reluctance, uncertainty, and the quiet ache of not feeling good enough. They taught me that leadership is not about being the first through the door. It's about holding the door open for those that come afterwards. Now, I want to speak honestly about the world that you're stepping into. It can feel unsettled, uncertain, and at times overwhelming. The old systems are creaking, old assumptions are collapsing, and it can feel that the very ground we're standing on is shifting beneath our feet. Rutger Bregman, who delivered this year's Reef Lectures, describes periods like this as a time of monsters, moments when the old world is dying but the new one is yet to be born. And in those in-between spaces, fear can take root, division can flourish, and cynicism can sound like wisdom. But a lifetime in public service has taught me this. Times of uncertainty are also times of possibility. When the old world loosens its grip, the new world looks for people brave enough to build it. And this is where you come in. The antidote to a time of monsters is not despair. It's to find the age of angels, a way of living rooted in humility, moral courage, and a deep belief in the dignity of every human being. You're graduating into a world that needs you, not as spectators, but as builders. We need your refusal to accept that inequality is inevitable. It's not. We need your refusal to accept that climate justice is not optional. It's not. We need your understanding that technology in all its forms, especially now it feels AI, must serve us as humanity, not the other way around. And we need your creativity, your compassion, and your refusal to look away. The university's motto speaks directly to this moment, through difficulties to the heights. It reminds us that adversity is not the opposite to progress. Very often, it's the path to it. And remember, things will not always go your way. You will make mistakes. You will fail at some things. We all do. But those experiences can become the foundations of what we do next. If you learn from them, build on them, and use them. So as you step into your future, I want to leave you with 3 thoughts. First, be brave enough to imagine better. The world will sometimes tell you that keeping your head down is sensible, and in most times it isn't. Every major shift in history began with people who refused to accept the world as it was and dared to make it better. People who looked at injustice, abuse, or suffering and said, "Not on my watch." So think of Nelson Mandela, who walked out of prison after 27 years, not with bitterness, but with a vision for a nation healed. Think of Marie Curie, who pushed past every barrier placed in front of her to transform science and medicine. And think of Malala, who turned an attempt on her life into a global movement for girls' education, and whose life was saved by world-leading trauma surgeons right here in Birmingham. So these are just a few who have changed the world for the better, and thankfully there are many, many more. They didn't wait for the world to become predictable or safe. They acted because it wasn't. So the second thought I want to leave you with is about building with others. The challenges ahead, climate change, inequality, democratic fragility, loneliness, a sense of not belonging, are too big for heroes and too complex for lone geniuses. They require communities that care, coalitions of courage, and people who know how to listen. And that's where your superpower of curiosity matters. It helps us ask better questions and understand perspectives beyond our own. And then thirdly, I invite you to operate with generosity of spirit. Now, generosity is not softness. It's one of the ways we can rebuild trust, repair broken systems, and create conditions for others to thrive. Excellence is not only measured by achievement, it's also measured by how you treat people along the way. And so it begins, graduates. You're entering a world into transition, a world asking sometimes desperately for new ideas, new energy, and new hope. You're not inheriting a finished story, you're being invited to write the next chapter. So be brave, just be brave enough to imagine better. Build with others and operate with generosity of spirit. And wherever your path takes you, remember this place, this day, and the people who helped to get you there. I believe truly that you are a generation capable of turning a time of monsters into an age of angels. So graduates, congratulations and go well. Thank you.
Chancellor, to you and to the University, I present the names of these graduands as listed in my programme, proved worthy to be admitted to their respective degrees. Philosophy, Archie Callow Higgs. Isabella Cooper. Sienna Datani. Rebecca Diggins. Felicity Dye. Jolene May Edwards. Isabel Everett. Callum Farmer. Noah Harrison. Jonathan Hawkins. Eleanor Hubbard. Henry Hudson. Haruka Ishikawa. Lauren James. Maya Javier. Anand Kaur. Rafi K. Rudy Knott. Isabel Leigh Pollitt. Rosanna Mackenzie. Jack McCarty. Ilsa McKay. Karen Ojiro. Ellie Pitt. Jake Rufus Reed. Grace Shelton. Megan Southgate. Olivia Thomas. Caitlin Tinsley. Isabel Todd. Pak Yu Ethan Wong. Philosophy and Sociology, Naomi Dejoux. Long Wai Lorm. Amber Locke. Alice Walton. Erica Wilmot. Philosophy and Sociology with Year in Computer Science, Skye Spencer Joe Schwartz-Smith. Philosophy with Classical Literature and Civilization, Tia Robert Niku. Philosophy with English Literature, Ella Ruby Arco. Alice Heath. Edward Jowett. Natasha Rowe. Philosophy with Year Abroad, Amelia Akuti. Iona Kadare. Josie Dean. Aisha Hender. Rachel Henry. Alastair Porteous. Lily Sears. Malita Tanda. Philosophy, Religion and Ethics, Megan Aslett Clark. Satnam Bansal. Noah Byrne. Maria Isabel de Paula Roca. Saul Fahidi. Joshua Lander. Haley Vegas. Politics, Religion and Philosophy, Summer Burgess. Aaron Mee. Ophelia Vanderberg. Politics, Religion and Philosophy with Year Abroad, Jessica Olivia Ness. Matilda Osborne. Theology and Religion, Amy Leah Jones. Miriam Shelton. Sophie Smith. Joel Jonathan Warnock. Bachelor of Science, Liberal Arts and Sciences, Grace Laura Adler. Anna de Boord. Liberal Arts and Sciences, Biological Sciences, Emily Ann Freya Vasby-Katz. Vandra Majudon. Liberal Arts and Sciences, Business Management, Georgia Bristol. Liberal Arts and Sciences, Chemistry, Daisy Rudkin. Liberal Arts and Sciences, Economics, Charles Drummond. James Morton. Beth Tate Alexander. Liberal Arts and Sciences, Environmental Sciences, Charlotte Thompson. Rosanna Wood. Liberal Arts and Sciences, Geography, Alice Elizabeth Inskip. Liberal Arts and Sciences, Mathematics, Samuel Kelsham Myers. Liberal Arts and Sciences, Psychology, Anna Price Davis. Liberal Arts and Sciences, Sustainability, Bethan Miriam Callow. Naomi Crook. Florence Poulis. Natural Sciences, Zoe Kaplan. Jessica Carwadine. Brad Baxter Charlton. Gina Liebenberg. Holly O'Mara. Natural Sciences, Biological Sciences, Catherine Marvel. Natural Sciences, Physics and Biological Sciences, Tanshpreet Kaur. Doctor of Philosophy, for research into the phenomenon of changing legal school affiliation in the Mamluk period, Ahmed Ibrahim Jani. Bachelor of Arts, Philosophy, Ellen Dowder. Politics, Religion and Philosophy, Ifeoma Devine Asiebego. Bachelor of Science, Natural Sciences, Martha Simpson.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Oh, let's try that again. Good afternoon, everyone. Is there anyone out there? One more time. Good afternoon, everyone. That's better. Now, I know you really enjoyed seeing all your family come up here and get their degrees. So I'm going to give you another chance to raise the roof with your cheers, with your shouts. I'm doing several graduation ceremonies, and I want to see who's going to be the loudest audience. So one more time, let's raise the roof to congratulate our graduates. Well done, very impressive, well done. My name is Sandy Okoro. I have the honour of being the Chancellor of this wonderful university. I graduated from here myself. I studied law and politics. As I said, it's a huge honour. Last year, I gave my son his degree from this very stage. So there are 3 generations of Okoros have been through this university. My mother came here to study nursing, my son did criminology, and I did law and politics. So it's wonderful to stand here as Chancellor and see you all come up here and get your degrees and see just how proud your family, friends and supporters are of you, and what a wonderful room this is to be in. I know that all of you at the front, the family, the friends, the supporters, are tremendously proud of your graduates. And I know you can't wait to get out there and hug them and congratulate them. But bear with me for a few moments, because one of my key jobs is to leave the graduates with a few words of inspiration before they go out into the world. So you've got to stay in your seats just a little bit longer. So what I thought I would do today is I would tell you, graduates, 3 of the things I wish I had been told when I was sitting in your position at the back of the hall. The first thing is I wish someone had told me to have the courage to be unapologetically me, to be the best version of myself, not a second-rate version of someone else. How many of you have scrolled through TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, for the oldies in the audience, and have thought, everybody else seems to have really got it together. Everybody else seems to have it all figured out. Well, let me tell you, that is not true. Let me save you years of worry about that. They don't have it figured out. What you're watching is somebody else's highlight reel, while you're living in the background your behind-the-scenes life. And that is okay. Don't compare your life to others. You may feel you're not the finished product yet, but so you shouldn't be. Nobody is, trust me. And in fact, I hope you're not. And why? Why? Because your best chapters are yet to come. They haven't yet been written. You are not behind. You are becoming. Today is not the end of your story at all. It's just a paragraph that has ended and a new paragraph is about to begin. And I certainly wasn't the finished product when I graduated from this university. No, no, no. I was full of, well, I had my law degree, but I was full of opinions and thoughts and everything else. And I had to develop into the person that I am now, and I'm by no means the finished product yet. But let me tell you something, and coming back to being unapologetically yourself. I'm going to tell you a story about my surname. So I went out into the world to become a lawyer. My surname is Okoro. And at that time, I was told, that's a bit ethnic sounding. Sandy, you're going to have to change that if you really, I went into the city of London, if you really want to fit in. And I thought, I'm not changing that surname. I love that surname. I've grown up with that surname. I'm not changing it. And if someone doesn't want me because of my surname, then I don't want to go and work for them. And I kept that surname. And now, as you go out, it is engraved in the marble as I'm the 8th Chancellor, first female Chancellor, 8th Chancellor of the university, and it's engraved out there. I'm so glad I kept that name. Imagine if somebody had told you that you needed to change something that was so fundamental to you, that connects you with your culture, your heritage, and your very essence. Who you are is so very important. Please never change that to make other people feel comfortable. If the room is too small for you, find a bigger room. Never shrink to fit anybody else's ideal of you. Embrace your identity. Cherish your story. These are not obstacles, they are your foundation. And remember, the right room will never require you to leave your identity at the door. The second thing I wish I had known, and had known better, when I graduated, was just how invaluable an education from an institution like this is. My father came from Nigeria and my mother came from Trinidad, and I just want to stop and say something there, because this is often interpreted incorrectly. When they came to this country in the 1950s, they came as British subjects. They did not come as immigrants, they came as British subjects, because they came from countries that were then colonies. You couldn't be anything but a British subject, and so were my grandparents and my great-grandparents. So they came here as British subjects to contribute. And my father, who came from a family who could not read and write from rural Nigeria, was taught by British missionaries. And he said to me, Sandy, the one thing no one can ever take away from you is your education. And we heard Deborah talk about Nelson Mandela, and I want to give you another Nelson Mandela quote. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Now, my father understood this long before I did, and I think, when I reflect, I think I took my education for granted. But he understood the one thing that I want you to understand today. Your knowledge can never be confiscated. Whatever happens in your life, and like Deborah said, things are going to happen that you don't want to happen. It's not going to all be ha, ha, he, he. But when things happen, remember what you've learnt. Remember how you've learnt it. And remember the rigor this university has taught you. Markets rise and fall. Governments change, sometimes more than others. Jobs come and go. And sometimes it might even be hard to get a job. But no one can repossess your education. And I want to say something to every parent, grandparent, partner, siblings, and supporters in the room. You've all sacrificed something for the graduates at the back that you are here to support. And you've had total 100% belief in them. And I want to thank you for that, because that is so important. You've given them an invaluable gift. You may not be wearing a gown coming up on stage to shake my hand, but I know every one of you, I could see it in your eyes, your heart was on stage with your loved one. And I want to say a special thank you to the lecturers, supervisors, and supporters who have challenged you and believed in you. I don't think I appreciated them enough when I was here at the university. So every time I walk up and I see them there, I'm thinking, gosh, you are really special. Let's give them a big round of applause. It'll take you a few years to really perceive how special your education has been here. But trust me, give it some years and you really know. And the last and third thing that I wish I had known when I was in your position, is that it's okay to say yes, even when you think you can't do it, and even when you are filled with fear, say yes. When I was a student here, I had lots of opinions about many, many things, and one of my tutors found me a bit of a handful. I had a lot of opinions on a lot of things, and he pulled me aside one day and he said, Sandy, you always have an opinion, you always have something to say, why don't you channel that into debating? His name was Professor Appleby. I'm still in touch with him today, but his advice had a profound effect on my life. So I started doing debating. To be fair, I didn't take it seriously at first, thought it was a bit of a joke, I didn't prepare. But then I started to win debates, and I started to really enjoy that. And I started to realize the power of words and the power of influence. And I remember once getting up in this very hall, there was a bank at the time, apartheid still existed in South Africa, and we were debating whether we should have a certain bank on campus. And I got up and I said, I don't think we should have that bank on campus, because if I was in South Africa, I wouldn't be able to stand up and say we shouldn't have that bank in South Africa. Simple words, but I realized the power of words, and I've used that ever since. And Professor Appleby came to my installation as Chancellor, which was a great honor. So, another thing is about saying yes. As I said, I'm a lawyer. One of my great heroes as a lawyer is someone called Helena Kennedy, Baroness Kennedy. She's a great civil rights lawyer. Sometimes when you meet your idols, it's not a great thing. But when I met her, it was absolutely astonishing. And she gave me a piece of advice I have really, truly followed. She said to me, Sandy, when someone asks you to do something you think you can't do, always say yes. Because no one is ever going to ask you to do something so they can watch you fail. So say yes, even when you think you can't do it, even when the fear is gripping you, say yes. Not long after that, I was approached to go to do a job as Senior Vice President and General Counsel at the World Bank. And I was terrified, but I did it. I followed Helena's advice and I said yes. So graduates, you are graduates of the University of Birmingham. You can say yes, you do not have that fear. Because most of the biggest moments in your life are going to be when you say yes and you felt you were not ready. And you're going to be surprised by what you can achieve. And, you know, Deborah mentioned it, please not let's fear AI. Yes, it can write reports, it can analyze data, can even compose music and solve problems at astonishing speed. But there are things it cannot be. It cannot be kind. You can be kind. It cannot be courageous. You can be courageous. It cannot build trust. Only you can do that. And it cannot replace your judgment, your integrity, and your humanity. It cannot be you, and the world needs you. So, as you're leaving the university today, with something no technology can generate, you are leaving as a graduate of the University of Birmingham. You've been shaped by this remarkable institution, by the friendships you've built here, by the setbacks you've overcome, by the ideas you challenged. And the world you're walking into needs you, trust me on that. It needs your energy, it needs your compassion, it needs your curiosity, and it needs your courage. It needs people who will stand their ground, who will keep their names, who will use their education not simply to build successful careers, but to build a better world. And you are that person. And when life offers you a choice between betting against yourself and betting on yourself, remember, bet on yourself every single time. And talking about betting on yourself, as I have the mic, I think we all need to bet on England winning against Norway on Saturday. And although you're taking home your degrees today, I know the England team is going to bring the World Cup back to us on the 19th of July. And you can quote me on that one. Now, I always write a poem for my graduates at the end, and I'm just going to say that poem to you now. And it's called Go Bet on Yourself. As you leave these halls today, don't let your courage fade away. The road ahead won't always be clear. Don't let doubt become your fear. Remember, your story grew. This place believed in all of you. Now carry hope in all you do, and let your values guide you through. Wear your name with pride each day. Never hide who you are away. Stand up tall, be strong, be kind. Lift those still a step behind. Some doors will close, that much is true, but others wait because of you. Keep knocking, keep taking that chance. Sometimes life begins with one brave glance. When fear says, wait, you're not enough, answer back, I'm made of tougher stuff. And when the world asks, who are you, smile and let your actions prove. So dream out loud, stand strong, aim high, stretch yourselves towards the sky. And when life asks what you should do, go bet on yourself, and England too. Thank you. Congratulations, class of 2026. Okay. I now declare the congregation closed.
The ceremony that completes the university journey for hundreds of Birmingham alumni has come to an end. The procession begins to stream out of the Great Hall, carrying with them the maces that were set down at the start of the ceremony. It's a nice bit of visual poetry that bookends the ceremony. As those maces are carried forward, so too are our graduates onto their next adventure. This is a powerful moment for our graduates, representing the culmination of years of dedicated study. The education, connections, and friendships they have made at Birmingham will last a lifetime. The University of Birmingham is known for producing great thinkers, change makers, and innovators. From Nobel Prize winners to sporting champions, this institution has shaped minds that go on to make a real difference in the world. Today's graduates are stepping into that legacy, ready to make their mark, whether they're heading into research, launching businesses, or, let's be honest, finally taking a proper break before the next adventure begins. From the Great Hall to the wider world, our graduates will carry the knowledge, ambition, and spirit of Birmingham in their next chapter. Wherever you are watching from, this is not just an ending. It is the beginning of something exceptional. live stream has now ended.